Okay. Well, congratulations for the podium finishes again. And 51st annual Hangtown. Hunter Lawrence, another good day. And 3-1 for the overall. So tell us a little bit about your day. First moto, a little bit harder, but second moto went as planned.
Yeah, first moto was tough. Not as good a start, so just coming through the pack. Track was weird. It was like really kind of not as deep, which sometimes has promoted more racing, better racing. But today it was just kind of tough. It was pretty one line, so yeah, just got back to where I could, and then on to the next one, and then yeah, got a better start in the second moto, and was able to ride a pretty good race.
You're feeling first moto versus second moto. Track raced better, more passing opportunities, more lines, or it was about the same?
Nah, probably about the same, if anything. Especially when they put a lot more water down for the second moto. So if I would have come through the pack on the second moto, probably wouldn't have been as fun, just because it's like you try to stick to whatever lines are driest. You know, whenever you have to make a pass, you're taking lines that you're not familiar with. It gets tricky.
Yeah, lap times were a little slower the first few laps as the track was wet, and then it got faster, and then they just started to deteriorate later on. So did you notice the track at the end of the moto getting more difficult, more slippery?
Yeah, I mean, the track was it was in all-time form today. It was a tough, difficult kind of deal to deal with dry, but then when there's a lot of water on top, it just throws another element. But yeah, just trying to manage it, you know, not ask for more than what the track's giving in the second moto.
Perfect. Justin, congratulations on the second place finish. Good start, second moto. Good starts, both motos, actually. So how did you come to terms with today's track?
Yeah, I think more of the same. It wasn't dug deep enough, so we saw a lot higher speeds compared to previous years, I feel. And it's kind of weird when you ride a track the previous years at a certain pace with how rough it is. It feels weird going faster down like the straightaways and all that. So braking points are probably a little bit off, and yeah, it wasn't really comparable to what we've faced here. So yeah, just overall it was kind of one line, and it was pretty high intensity, I feel. So all in all, it was a good day. I guess coming off last weekend, it's a really good day as far as my starts are concerned. It was pretty scary the first round, so a lot less work today. Just yeah, definitely didn't execute in either moto. I stayed in second pretty much the whole moto, and couldn't really make up ground. So.
Okay. And Hayden, first moto win of your national career, and congratulations. And the second moto, your start wasn't quite as good, made your day a little longer, a little harder for you. So tell us about your first moto, tell us about your win, and then tell us about the second moto.
Yeah, I mean, first moto was able to get the whole shot, and that's the key to these races, especially if you're just trying to find that winning speed still, and that's definitely what I'm looking for. But getting a whole shot like that, for me, gave me some confidence and led the whole race. So I'm super amped about that, and got my first whole shot. So yeah, I just gotta keep building off that. And second moto didn't get a great start, and I just had to work through the pack, got to fourth, and yeah, it was good.
Yep. So again, congratulations on the podium. So back, Hunter, you've been able to manage the races when you're riding. I mean, it's like you did. Obviously, first moto wasn't a win. You're able to come back. Were you paying attention to who was finishing what places, or are you just trying to win the moto and let the cards fall as they may?
Yeah, just focus on myself and wherever Hayden got back to, or whoever was behind us for the overall. That's out of my control, so just kind of focus. You know, either I'll get whatever I get, the result will be whatever it's going to be, you know, so just focus on myself.
And looking forward to Lakewood is a track that you like. Do you like racing at the elevation or that particular track? Because it's also a little hard packed, kind of like this circuit.
Yeah, it's a cool spot. Denver's sweet. It's cool. Wish we had that track at normal sea level, because I think it'd be even more fun with you know, more horsepower, because the bikes obviously struggle a little, less oxygen, so they feel like 125's there.
And Cooper, you've had a really, really phenomenal run at Lakewood. I mean, you've had some good results there. Is that one of your favorite tracks?
Results-wise, yes. I do enjoy it. I don't know what it is that clicks with that place with me, but it's definitely a good track for me. And yeah, going to Elevation next weekend, that's it's always that one-off race that you don't really know what to expect. So I think it'll turn out good. I'm excited to go there next weekend. Definitely gonna be a good one. I think every year that's like the one-off race that kind of shakes things up. So I'm excited for that, and yeah, just keep pushing forward and yeah, doing the best we can.
Hayden, have you raced at Colorado at Elevation other than, I mean, the national track? Have you raced at Lakewood before?
No, I've never raced. I don't think I've ever raced in Colorado. I did race in Salt Lake. That was Elevation, but no, I've never raced that track.
Yeah, just wondering. I mean, they've had some amateur race. I just wondered if you'd ever gone there in your career at all. But
no.
Yeah, have you heard much about it?
Oh yeah, I heard it's a good track for a star bike, so I'm excited.
Yeah, Justin can attest. It's a very steep start on the uphill. So it's. So do we have any questions or from our group?
Aaron Hance with Racer X's for Justin. Could you take us through that first moto? Was there a specific point that you kind of pulled the pin on a charge on Hagen there? Because you got Hayden, because you got pretty close.
Yeah, first moto. I kind of we were 1-2 at the start, kind of settled in with him, and I think I made a couple charges. I was honestly waiting towards the end to make a charge, but he stayed strong the whole race. I was kind of banking on him maybe slipping up or fading a little bit, but that didn't happen. He stayed strong, and it's impressive. So that's got close with like 2 laps to go, made a mistake, and that was kind of it. But yeah, that couldn't do much with him there, and we were both going a similar speed, and overall, yeah, just had to settle for second at the end.
Hunter, how's your rib?
Yeah, pretty sore. Pretty sore. I'm glad we've got adrenaline when we're racing, because if I didn't have any adrenaline running, it'd be very, very, very difficult.
This is my last question. It's for Hayden. Looked like you were having a bit of fun on that first lap. You were throwing some whips out here and there. Was that just you having fun, or were you just scrubbing?
Oh yeah, I'm still a kid, so I gotta get saucy off every jump. You know, a lot of the older guys are like, "Oh, you're wasting energy," but I mean, you're really not if you're having fun doing it. So yeah, first few laps, if you got the lead, you gotta throw a couple whips.
Well, we might be able to keep it down. So what did your dad say when you crossed the finish line? He had to be pretty pumped.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, shoot, 4th outdoor national. That's it's hard to do, and he knows how hard it is to do too. He raced outdoors, and this 250 class is more than stacked this year, so he was hyped.
Congratulations all 3 of you guys up on the podium, top 3 in the point standings right now. So maybe see you up here again next week. All right, we'll get you out here quickly here. So congratulations again, 51st annual Hangtown National. Longest, only club ran national in the history. So it's a fun one with a lot of history. So tell us about history there, Jet. 4 in a row. I don't know if anyone's ever started off as Lord Jeff Ward. What? No, but he's never not as a rookie. Jeff raced with me for years and never won a national. Okay, you got to be the only rookie that I've known start off 4 straight Moto wins. Oh, congratulations, and tell us about your day. It seemed kind of uneventful if you saw what was going on behind you.
Yeah, no, it was kind of just learning the track again. It's a new formula, obviously, because it's on a different bike, different power. So it's kind of learning that. But no, it was fun to learn in the first moto, just to kind of like where I can kind of give and take a few spots on where I can be aggressive, where I can't be aggressive, because the track was so chopped out and that stuff, and it was already dry. So the track was already gone on the first few laps of Moto 1. They tried fixing it with a ton of water. It doesn't help. But no, it was not a crazy day. Still a few things to work on. Now I need to make sure I eat in between motos. I didn't eat. I just had one of G's smoothies and yeah, that didn't last me the whole moto. So, but no, it's good to learn. Another thing I can learn on and improve. But no, onto Colorado. Here we go, and get to see how the bike is at altitude.
Well, you mentioned that you were running out of energy on the podium, and you just mentioned it again. So, about what point did you feel like you were kind of bonking?
I would say it wasn't much of a bonking. It was kind of just like my energy spurts. I couldn't quite like go, and my mouth got pretty dry pretty quickly. But I would say everyone else's mouth is pretty dry out there. But I would say maybe halfway or something, and I kind of realized it was going down a bit. Then I decided to kind of like just make sure I maintain and just ride smart.
Dylan, second week up on the podium. Did you get some testing? I know you were talking about the bike setup, that you really didn't get nearly as much testing as we all thought you had on the new Yamaha. So were you able to get a little bit of testing in this week, or just some more time on the bike to get used to it? And you obviously had 2 great starts.
For sure we did testing this week. Obviously last weekend was a big learning for us, and we tried more this week at the farm in Florida, and we show up this race with new setup. But again, I struggled a little bit with arm pump all day, and just for the last moto we changed the shock, and we had tried this shocker before, but with that new setup, we changed the shock, and the bike was way better. So I think now we're getting close to what I want on the bike, and I was a little bit disappointed in second moto. I gave the whole shot to Jet and Coops because I had it, and I think that second moto with the setup I had, I could have done something better, and I was just stuck behind the KTM boys and couldn't find a way to pass, and obviously at the end of the moto I was just tired and gave up a little bit in the last lap. It's one more step in the right direction. We knew with the team that the beginning of the season would be difficult, and on the paper it looks not too bad. The P2 in championship, 18 points is a lot, but it's not too bad. Like if you had asked me this question 2 weeks ago, I would have said I'm gonna be like outside the top 5 and like far away, and no podium and stuff. So I think we have a good base now. This week we're gonna need to make sure this setup works in practice, and if it does, we'll finally start to train instead of doing testing. Even if I like doing testing, we always improve the bike, and I like it. But at some point we also need to train, and right now I use the race as a training. Like that's the only time I do moto, and if I can do more moto in a week, but also I need to feel good on this bike. So we need to some compromise. But we see next weekend, buddy. I hope the track will gonna be less dry and less hard packed than today.
Well, it's usually almost as dry in Lakewood, but we'll see when we get there. And Cooper, and speaking of somebody that just 2 weeks ago wasn't even sure if he's going to be racing, you got to be pretty happy with your performance, especially in that second moto.
Yeah, I'm stoked, man. That second moto was great for me. I got a good start and ran up front, and there was definitely a difficult track to pass on. So it helped me though to kind of latch in and get to know the pace, and just get my outdoor legs a little bit again. I've struggled the first moto, but we made a bike change that was better for the second one, and it was just good to be back battling again. The first one I was a distant 4th, just kind of riding around by myself. So it's good to get a good start and be in the mix and be in the fight and get a podium. And I'm stoked, man. I did not expect it to come this early by any means, and I still feel like I have a long ways to go. So I'm really happy with the performance today.
Well, you took pressure, it seemed like, every second of that moto the entire time from either Aaron or obviously Dylan. So congratulations. And come around the corner and you see AP laying on the ground. Like, it's disappointing, of course, because you're your teammate, but on the other hand, it's like, man, it's a free spot. You'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it any way I can get it. And at the time, even running in 3rd, I knew I would have gotten 4th overall. So it was a good little, it's a good little bonus when you see the guy on the ground. It's not great, but I wasn't mad at it.
That's for sure. So, again, Jet, you guys, 2 weeks in a row, you and your brothers, top of the podium. The Honda camp's got to be very, very happy. And, you think your program is where you expected it to be for the 450s? And going into Lakewood, how do you like the Lakewood track?
I definitely would say I knew my sprint speed would be decent just because off of 250s I was fairly close in times, and going onto a bike that has more power, I had a decent chance of running with the top guys, but I definitely wouldn't have thought it'd go this good so far. And like you said, yeah, Hunter another win. He just needs to sort his first motos out. He's running like an idiot, getting terrible starts. But besides that, good weekend from both of us. Honda's happy. Yeah, we'll just go back, same thing during the week, just kind of get some more time on the 450, because I'm still learning how the characters are and that stuff of it. So yeah, get to go and race another sick track on the 450, and hopefully we can learn even some more stuff just for to build my career and my experience.
Perfect. So speaking of Lakewood, how about yourself, Dylan? Lakewood, I mean, it's a track that makes a 450 feel probably like a 350, but it's out of the track, and how where does it rank on your liking scale?
It's fine. I heard you. Usually I really liked in the valley. I liked riding in altitude. I like that feeling. The bike is slow, so you can really ride wide open on the 450, so that's fun. Like it's not really every day we can do that. Yeah, some year I didn't really like when it was too outback, but yeah, usually we have a really great condition over there.
Fantastic. So a couple of more questions.
Aaron Hansel with Racer X. This first one's for bike change between motos. What was that change?
We had a little bit of a fork issue in the first one, so just kind of an updated fork that we had worked on this week, and we kind of went back and forth all day on it. But yeah, like I said, we had an issue with the one in Moto 1, so that was mainly it. So yeah, it was a better direction.
Can you take us through that battle with AP? What's it like when you have that much pressure for that long?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, like I said, I haven't gone that pace yet really all season, so kind of just learning the pace and trying not to make any mistakes. And you can kind of feel when someone's catching you in certain areas and stuff, but you don't really want to change your line. So it was a good little yo-yo. I could feel him all over me. He had some really good spots, and then I feel like I had some good spots, and it was definitely a difficult track to pass. So but I was happy when he got around me. I was able to stay close to him, and I think he kind of made a charge towards Jed and made that mistake and went down. So but yeah, then it was Dylan all over me. So yeah, it was good to be in that situation again, and having to use the focus and nail all your laps, because it was even though it was a tough track to pass, it was a difficult track. It could reach out and kind of bite you. So yeah, I was happy to be able to ride outdoors like that again.
Jet, can you take us through, no matter what, you always seem to be able to maintain a 4 to 5 second gap. Can you take us through your management process?
It's kind of just finding a decent, kind of comfortable pace for me to go at, and then obviously I'm assessing kind of the gap. On the first few laps, kind of go as fast as you can, and just try and, while everyone's kind of behind you, like trying to make passes and that stuff, might get held up a little bit, trying to just get away a little bit, because I feel like that's where I mainly get my gap, and I just kind of tuck my ears back and go, and then from there, once I get that 5 to so second gap, I just kind of, all right, see where my pace at. Can I keep on gapping him out with my pace? If not, we'll just stay here and just try not make mistakes. And this track here, I was searching a lot with some different lines and that stuff, just to kind of see if I could gain any. I took a few lines and lost some time. But one of the main things, especially in this first moto, was lappers, is just trying to get through them. Was such a big thing. They were waving blue flags, but none of the riders really listened. They kept on racing each other and battling, so kind of sucked with that side of things. Like, when you're that far behind, just, if you can, respectfully just move over for us, because we're going for obviously something a lot bigger. And to lose time like that just because of a lapper, I know Chance got held up and I'm losing position. So I mean, it's happened in both classes, which kind of sucks for us to try and especially for me to maintain. It sucks, but we gotta deal with it. And thankfully, I got screwed, and the guys behind me got screwed a little bit also. So I got a little lady luck with that. But no, it's just a lot of kind of looking at my lap time, see where I'm at, the gap. I have a kind of a rough eye of where the lad's at. I had my few spots where I could see him out of the corner of my eye. So I was just kind of keeping an eye on that. And when AP got into second, I could see he pick it up a bit, so I ended up having to pick it up a bit. So I was just kind of just seeing what their body language is kind of like.
Well, thank you guys very much. 1, 2, 3 in the point standings. 1, 2, 3 today. I'm sure you made Dunlop guys very happy. I know you have, but you also look like you made the 100% goggle guys happy too. So good job, and we'll see you next week in Lakewood.